Man, trying to navigate two places, kind of difficult. Your boy Chili hanging out with you. I am trying to book a special guest because I want to make sure that I show as many of the kids that I love because your boy Chili's not really just all about Chili, contrary to popular belief on the internet. Also, I was told don't believe everything that you see on the internet, but I do got a special guest coming up. I'm super excited about that. National championship game, absolutely theater. I loved it. I was kind of hoping that Houston was going to win just for the Big 12 factor, but it was a great game. I thought Florida was amazing. That kid Walter Clayton, I think, playing himself into the NBA lottery. But yeah, I'm curious, how everybody did in their pools. I saw that my man Gridiron did very, very well in the women's bracket. I still have yet to check and see how I did in that. Um, and I saw my man BJ Media came in second place in both of his brackets. Hey, shout out to my guy Devin Horn. Timeout Dev, if y'all not familiar, mostly a basketball guy, but he is getting heavy into the football stuff. So there's that. If you guys need a top-notch videographer, holler at him. He's usually running around with the young fella, my guy Pete No, who works very, very hard. Also does some camera work. So make sure that you guys support. Lots of good camera guys out there. Want to show them some love. My guy, Ball Dogs AC. I want to show him love first. He's mostly a basketball guy. Sometimes he'll get out and do that football stuff for me and some others. Look, if the price is right, they're gonna get that work out there. Also, I want to show some love to my guy JJ Digos, one of the best freelance photographers, camera guys out there in the biz. Also, K Visuals typically does a lot of the graphics, especially for the two-piece. But I haven't had him doing work for me at least this week. This week I had to give him the week off. He's working on a lot of stuff. He's out there doing the personal photography stuff for Ricky Pearsall in Florida. In case y'all don't remember, Ricky Pearsall from Corona del Sol fame, and did a little stint here at ASU, and then went on to Florida to make a cook, and currently rocking with the Niners and stuff. So shout out to him. I have noticed a lot of our local AZ guys getting some juice in the media, with their 4-year institutions. One of them being my man Creed Thomas, who got some shine. So want to show him some love. My special guest is having some phone issues. Listen, if I book you to jump on the show or whatever, and if you want to get some interview reps or whatever, just make sure that you put your phone on D&D. You don't want to have the Trace Carroll effect, the Coach Carroll effect from Chaparral. Gridiron recently went out to Chaparral, I heard, to go teach Coach Carroll how to operate technology because Coach Carroll's struggling. But it's all good. It's all good. He wasn't hired at Chaparral to teach IT and networking and all that. He was hired to win football games. So there's a difference. Me and Gridiron are going to break down some schedules this week. Last week, I think we did a fantastic job breaking down some schedules. One of them being Mountain Point. I heard some of the Mountain Point folks not too happy with Gridiron, but they're gonna have to prove it. Look. The easy way to deal with this is you prove it on the field and prove him wrong. He got y'all for a healthy 6 wins. That means he thinks you're a little bit better than mediocre, in the 5A, drop down to 5A. So I'm not trying to gas y'all up, and I am not trying to throw gas on this fire, but I'm just saying, get 8 wins, get 8 solid dubs, and talk crazy to him. 8 solid regular season dubs, and I am going to bring on 5 Mountain Point players to let Gridiron hear it during the show live. Hey, look, we can handle it. It's all good. We can handle it. Like if I pick you guys to struggle, and you guys handle that business, I'm gonna bring a couple of you guys on so you guys can give us the work. Listen, Pinnacle tried to get me and Gridiron one year, and they started off. We actually predicted that one right. They did go to the championship that year, but regular season wise, me and Gridiron got that right because our rule of thumb in the prediction game is one up, one down, one up, one down, and that's the way the predictions work. Um, I do got a special guest. I am going to bring him on in a second here. The Suns are terrible, so we're not going to talk about them. But the D-backs floating right under 500 or something like that. They are not at the 100 loss mark yet, and I'm not going to get chewed out by my former intern about projecting them for 100 losses, and then they're going to mock me by sending me a media invite, a media credential invite. I'm not going for that troll job, but I want to shout out the D-backs for the second year in a row. They have sent me an invite to be part of media coverage. One, I'm not going to 81 D-backs games a year, and I think that should be reserved for somebody that's a little bit more committed to the team. I will cover them lightly. And I'll let Gridiron defend their honor when I decide to, say that they're going to lose 100 games and then they end up like going to the World Series. No big deal, right? They got me. They got me. Look, if some D-backs want to jump on here and let me have it, it's all good. Without further ado, I do got a super special guest, one of the top running backs in the state. I love him. I think he's one of the best on the West Coast. I would definitely take him on my team. Been a huge fan of his. Hamilton's own Jacob Brown going to join the show here in a second. So sit tight, hang out with your boy Jacob Brown, Hamilton running back. Hopefully his camera's working. We're going to find out. Hang on for 2 seconds. Boom, there he is. The man of the hour, Jacob Brown. What's going on? Superstar running back.
Nothing much. Just got back from a doctor's appointment, chilling at home with my little bros. How you doing?
Yeah, hey, doctor appointment all good though, right? Like this is just some
Yes, sir. It
some
was just
minor
a
stuff, right?
physical. It was just a physical.
Okay, just making sure that you can bang during the season and stuff and make that thing go, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, speaking of make that thing go, some easy work for you. Over 1,000 total yards of offense for you, almost 1,000 yards rushing. One thing I got to know is you played at two of the most elite, prestigious high school football programs in the state. You got yourself a ring over there at SAG-U,
Yes,
and then
sir.
you're over there at Hamilton making it cook. What's it like being in those two places? Like, what's it been like for you? You were there for Mons for a little bit, and then now you're over at Hamilton. You got to win the ring with Hill. What's it like being in those two places, walking those hallways?
It was great. Going both ways. Like from a Hamilton standpoint, we have a great coaching staff. Great strength and conditioning program. I mean, honestly, it wasn't much of a difference. Like being like transitioning. It wasn't really hard to transition because I already knew what the standard was coming from such a prestigious program like Saguaro. So, it wasn't much of a change, but it's great, being able to experience being in two of the top programs in Arizona.
Hey, so you got to work with a legendary high school coach here in the Valley, Coach Jason Mons at Saguaro a little bit. You got to work with Zach Hill, highly reputable, IQ coach, and then now you work with you go to Hamilton, and you get this work in over there. What's it been like working with like Mazzone and all these guys over there?
It's great being about around guys with like the amount of football knowledge that they have. Like, it's like it's like when you go from eighth grade to high school, it's like night and day. You know what I'm saying? So being able to be around guys that have been there and done it, have seen multiple guys that have been there and done it, is great. Like it really makes it makes you a better football player. Just with the knowledge that's being poured into you every day, you know, um, and that comes from the entire coaching staff, whether that's our quarterbacks coach, Coach Pebler, or our head coach Travis Dixon. So, it's been great.
Hey, Coach Dixon put the blood, sweat, and tears in over there, which is unlike either of the other
Literally.
two coaches that you dealt with. Is it different playing for him because of that? Like, do you see a different type of intensity because he actually wore the same uniform that you wear?
Oh, most definitely. When you listen to Coach Dixon talk, you can hear the passion. Like it's not like it's like it's 100%. It's like 100% genuine. Like and he talks with a purpose. Like when he's talking to us, you can tell that he really means it. And you can tell that he really loves the Hamilton program. So it really is different hearing it from somebody that's actually played there.
Hey, you brought him up, Coach Pebler. I know he's worn a lot of hats over there in his short time over at Hamilton. I know he's supposed to be mostly the quarterback coach and
Yes, sir.
I think like passing game coordinator or something like that. But I know he spent some time coaching you as a running back coach. What's it been like working with him?
Coach Pebler is a great guy. He's a great man, and he's also a great role model. It's been really good working with Coach Pebler. He has a lot of football knowledge, and you can tell when you just like sit there and talk to him. He's also a competitor. Like sometimes him and Coach Dixon have these little lifting standoffs in the weight room. So it's been great to be around Coach Pebler. That's a guy that you want to be around because of his football knowledge and just him as a person. He's a great person.
Hey, look, you had this unique opportunity last year. Go head to head with your brothers. Look, I know Thanksgiving time got to be competitive in the household and stuff like that. But what was it like getting to go head to head with them on the field, watching them work? Because they were doing their thing over there at Centennial. What was it like for you being able to do that
Um, it was a great experience.
on the field as a competitor yourself? Like in that moment, was it like, oh, hey, I'm gonna let my little brothers get theirs a little bit, or was it like, nah, man, I'm gonna make sure that we
Nah,
mash
it,
these.
it was it was I mean I had told Jaheim because he was playing defense, he was playing corner. I told him that if I seen him, it was gonna be bad for him. I let him know because Jaheim be talking crazy, man. Hodge not so much, but Jaheim he be talking like everybody that know Jaheim know he be talking crazy.
Hey, how gotta, how a little disrespectful. It's okay. It's okay. But after the game, look, you guys got that dub. What was the first thing that you did when you saw them and talked to them? What were some of the things that you said to them?
I wasn't
Do you
like the lovey
remember?
dovey guy. I know exactly what I said to him. I
You said,
wasn't
look
like
at the
the
scoreboard.
yeah. I wasn't the guy that was like, oh yeah, I really enjoyed the moment. But me and my brothers are always competitive. If whether it's after the game, during the game, or before the game, we always gonna talk stuff to each other. So as soon as the game was over, I mean, I was like, I told you so. You know what I'm saying? I told you we was gonna beat y'all. So but it was a great moment to share with them. We took some pictures and we had a lot of family there at that game, obviously because it was such an important moment.
Did you make them wear Hamilton t-shirts to Centennial the next week?
I wish I could have. I wish they could have, but we couldn't do that.
Oh man, no, it's all good, man. Look, those guys are special, man. Some special freshmen over there, but you got a couple special freshmen over there at Hamilton too. What's it like getting the chance to bring up and work with Roy Oliver so closely and Jack Scully and some of these guys?
I mean, it's great. Like Roy, I didn't know Roy until I had got there. Like I knew him a little bit, but I didn't know he was going to Hamilton until I had got to Hamilton, and then I had finally got to see him really play in the summer. And when it's like Roy is a different, like he's different. You know what I'm saying? When you see him play, it's just like you can tell. I knew, like when I first seen Roy play, I knew he was gonna be a starter on varsity for us. I just like, it just kind of like it was crazy to see that he was this good as an eighth grader. Because I really never seen nobody like that good. Besides my brothers. Um, in eighth
I
grade.
dig
So
that.
it was really it's been really good because he's a humble kid. He works really hard, and he does all the right things. And the same thing goes with Jax. Jax, his arm talent is through the roof, but he's a really, 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 really confident kid, and I love him to death. So I feel like him stepping into this new role. He's gonna do a great job with it because of the confidence that he has in himself, and I really believe in Jax as a quarterback, just being able to watch him because I've been watching Jax since he was like 12 years old. and I've been able to see like what he's about, you know. And you, if you ask my brothers, like I've always been a fan of Jax, even before he was in high
Yeah.
school, you know, and working out with him at Ape, like he'll tell you that himself. I used to tell him every day, like I used to tell him he was the best quarterback in the state at that age, you know. Just every day I seen him because I got to
Okay.
watch him go against my brother, so I knew how good he was.
Okay. You know, a pair of top freshmen in that 28 class. You're arguably the best running back in your own class, maybe the best running back in the state, arguably. You know, Hamilton fully loaded. Listen, the reality is last year I had a lot of questions. You know, Coach Dixon in his first year back at his alma mater with the standard being the standard, like you said, how difficult it was going to be. I was worried. I thought that Hamilton might be staring at a, you know, I don't know, like a 7 win, maybe a 6 win season. But you guys proved me wrong. You guys proved me wrong. Rolled up out that thing and got all those dubs. Made it to the Open. What made you guys so special last year to be able to do all that and run it up in Coach Dixon's first year?
It was the I feel like we wanted to do it for each other, you know. We really wanted to do it for each other and for the seniors, you know. And we kind of felt, I mean, in my opinion, I felt like everybody felt disrespected. You know, not no offense to you, but like I just felt like we were like disrespected, you know, in terms of like who we were and who we were going against, you know. So um yeah, I mean, we just really wanted to do it for each other, you know. And we got a little banged up at the end, but you know, you know, everything happens for a reason. So we just gonna continue to work and get ready for next year.
Hey, recruiting solid. I seen you building the relationship with like Wisconsin and NAU and a lot of teams. You know, are there a lot of trips planned? I know that you were at Rivals Camp earlier this off season, putting in that work, doing big things. What are the plans as far as like recruiting and stuff like that for you?
So I have a couple different trips coming up. I have UTEP this weekend, and then I have New Mexico next weekend. And then on the 18th, I have New Mexico, and then I believe I'll be at U of A the 19th for the spring showcase. So
Okay.
I got a couple of trips planned for this spring. Now it's just about getting in front of these coaches during the spring showcase again so that they can see me move and see that you know, my film matches how I'm moving. So, you know,
Hey, you know, with so much changing in recruiting, with the development of the portal and you know how NIL works, like what are some of the things that you're focusing on to try to prepare yourself for all of that?
um, you know, making sure that I look my best, speed, explosiveness, and you know, making sure that my grades are in check and that my football knowledge is up to par.
Yeah. Hey, you know, do you have any idea like what you want to major in when you do get to college?
Construction science.
Construction science. Like that sounds like something like you maybe want to be like an architect or something or build things.
Yes, sir.
Is that what that is? Like, okay, that's legit. Okay, so shoot, you got to find somewhere that runs parallel with what you're trying to do. You know, who are some of your teachers? Who are some of your teachers over at Hamilton or maybe at Saguaro that you know stood by you and helped you out along the way that you want to show some
Um,
love to? That aren't coaches. Don't give me your PE
Nah,
class.
I don't really. I don't have a like. I have one coach as a class. You know, he's a good teacher. But you know, my English teacher at Hamilton, Miss Verdon, she does a great job. She's a great person, really nice teacher. You know, she's helped me a lot this year. And then shout out my guy, Mr. Sears, my environmental science teacher. You know, he's a great teacher as
Okay.
well. And then my guy, Mr. Lamb, back at Saguaro, my old geometry teacher. So, you know,
Oh
he
yeah,
was a great
definitely need
teacher.
that.
Yeah, he
Hey,
dealt with a lot because we had a eighth period eighth period class with like all football players. So you know
okay.
we gave him a little bit of trouble sometimes, but he was a great teacher all in all.
Hey man, before I let you go, I am curious, like what are some of the things that we can expect this year from Hamilton? I know that at some point me and Gridiron are going to break down their schedule. What are some things, because I know there's changes over there. You guys got a new offensive coordinator. You got a new running backs coach, I believe. I don't want to
Yes,
put all
sir.
those names out there yet, but I'm not sure what's released and what's not released. But Jacob, I'm curious, what can we expect from Hamilton this year? Because I think that you guys set the bar up high.
You can expect a team that's gonna fight. We got a lot of kids that are coming back from last year. Just in the like, even speaking from the 26 class, you know, uh, they got a chip on their shoulder. We definitely didn't like how we went out last year. So, I feel like we got a team full of kids that got something to prove, and we got some young guns that are hungry, and ready to prove themselves. We got young guys like Devontae Roebuck, Casey Allen,
Oh yeah.
LeGarrette Blount Jr. So we got some guys that are ready to prove themselves, and are not going to disappoint once they're put on that big stage.
All right. Hey, look, strength of the team, offense or defense. I feel like you're going to say offense, but with the Jandro brothers and Richardson and all them dogs over there, the defensive linemen over there that I absolutely love. I feel like the strength might be the defense because you guys have some guys to replace on offense. But you tell me, Jacob, what's the strength of this team?
Man, to be honest, I'm gonna have to rock with you two on the defense, man.
Okay.
But let me tell you
Be
why though.
honest for now. No, it's all good.
We got a really good linebacking core between the twins, and then we got a younger guy, Rayner. We got Justin Vogt, Dylan Linder, and then we got Derek LeBlanc. Then you got the
Such
safeties.
a
We got a good
problem.
safety crew, and then we got two lockdown corners. And then a young corner that's gonna be a lockdown corner. So, with all the returning guys that we have from the defense. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the defense on that one. We got a lot of guys from the defense returning, so our defense should be really good this year.
Hey, are you oh man, I know I said I was gonna let you go, but I gotta ask, are you disappointed that they broke up the quote unquote like premier region and you don't get to see every like Chandler team like usual? Are you disappointed in that?
To be honest, not really, because we still get to see, Basha and Chandler, and
Okay,
and those are the two teams that we probably wanted on our schedule most. Chandler with the Arizona Avenue rivalry.
of course.
We had to put a whooping on them last year, but it's gonna be good to play them again this year. And then with Basha, Basha and Hamilton is always a good game, so it's gonna be great to play against those guys. Basha has some really good players on both sides of the ball. And they have some strengths, especially with Adam Mason. So it's gonna be good to play against Basha this year, really.
Yeah. No, Bash is gonna be tough. All right, hey, look, Jacob, we're definitely gonna catch up down the line. I know you got some things cooking, so the closer you get to committing and stuff like that, you let your boy know, and then we're gonna get ready to do the announcement or the post announcement interview and stuff. All right,
Yes, sir. We'll do.
my man. Hey, you take care. I'll catch you down the line.
You too.
Boom, and just like that, hey,
Yeah.
Jacob Brown, hey, he didn't hold back either. He let us know that he gave his brothers the business, and
Mm-hmm.
they whooped on
Put
Chandler
that whooping
last.
on Chandler.
He said it's all good. We don't miss Perry. I mean, he didn't actually say we don't miss Perry and Castile, but I mean, he said it without saying it. So,
Mm-hmm.
hey,
Yeah,
shout out to
I mean,
Jacob
I
Brown.
guess if you were Hamilton and you were told you could have two of the CUSD teams on your schedule, that's probably who you'd pick.
Dang, is that man?
Just from
Okay.
just from and
Hmm.
there's not to dismiss, especially Perry, who could make a run at the Open this year.
They
But
almost made a run at the Open last year.
they did for a little while. They
Hmm.
did. Mm-hmm.
They were hanging in there. They were hanging in there in that conversation. Listen, after we do the thing that we have to do, which is break down the schedules, we're gonna talk about your D-backs and some of the early struggles ish, but everybody
Struggles in
struggles
the
early.
starting
So
pitching department there. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. ERA, that's a numbers thing, which you're a specialist at. So, but first things first. First things first. I think that we did a great job breaking down the schedules last week. I know that some people were disappointed. We knocked out Williamsfield and Mountain Point
Yep.
to kick this thing off, right? So here we are. Hold up, we gotta show some love to somebody over here. Coach Sanders over there holding me down. Chili, you know the deal. And not to be outdone, my man, Grid.
Hey, there we are.
You know what it is. Showed equal love. Didn't even put us together in one comment. He gave us two separate comments so that we had our own. Hey, one thing that I am curious on. Do you want to retract your Mountain Point prediction? I will give you one opportunity to retract that because them boys are heavy on you behind the scenes right now.
Well, yeah, they're gonna get 10 games to prove me wrong there. I said 6-4.
Okay, because I'm gonna be bringing Aaron Thomas on the show soon. Not tonight.
I got a little worried when you said 5 Mountain Point guys because I know you can line up 5 pretty tough ones.
Well, I don't know. Remember that one year when you said Basha was gonna win 7 games, and then
then you went and brought a lineman on there, yeah.
I brought on Ryan Bloom, and they ended up winning the Open or something like that. Oh, I love it. This is the best time of year for me and Gridiron. We have the most fun. Well, I have the most fun because I always line up the guests and I always set Gridiron up. So, without further ado, we're gonna kind of delve into some of these schedules over here. I can't wait. This is one that I'm actually super excited about. We're gonna jump into some small school football. We're gonna talk about some Chandler area football.
Yep.
Catholic school variety. The Seton Sentinels. Look, we cut off part of their graphic, but we're not gonna cut them off on coverage.
I had to make sure we get the schedule part in.
This is true, and you did a great job of that. So. They're gonna start. Look, they're gonna start off with a Round Valley. They're gonna get Santan Charter, who's been absolutely amazing lately. Stafford, Gilbert Christian. Man, they got some tough games lined up over here. Then they get Ben Franklin with the big fella, Ammon Alexander. That kid is an absolute monster in the trenches. Absolutely love him, and I believe it's Coach Norris over there. Love what they've done recently. So, Gridiron, I'm gonna let you take it away. Get into Ben Franklin inside the numbers.
11-2 last season. This will be their first region game in the new 3A Metro.
Man, this is gonna be tough. Man, this game is gonna be tough. I'm excited to do predictions on this, but it's gonna be crazy. Dysart, who's trying to make their way up. Valley Christian, a 3A powerhouse. Love what Coach Peterson does over there, and they got a super talented tight end, Palmquist, who's an absolute dog. River Valley. I think that this is going to be a tough game. I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I'll let you go inside the numbers on this one. Tell us a little bit about the River Valley.
That's a road game up there. They play at the Anderson Auto Fieldhouse up there in Bullhead City, which is 250 miles away from Chandler. Last year, the River Valley, the Dust Devils went 9-2.
Man, this is a loaded schedule. They finish off with 2 games against 2 esteemed coaches who I think are absolutely fantastic. ALA Ironwood, that's the new one that Coach Bluford took over, correct? Okay,
that's correct.
So that's going to be tough, and that's going to be in the friendly confines of Seton Catholic. And then they are on the road to finish this thing off versus Chrisman, where our guy Coach Hare is over coaching, taking over that program. 2 very, very esteemed coaches, friends of the program, kind of. I think Hare's kind of mad at me, maybe Bluford also, but it is what it is. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at either of them. I got nothing but love. So sometimes coaches get mad for one reason or another. Personal, not personal. It's all good. But I love what they do as coaches. Coach Bluford built that ACP program, so
from the start,
from scratch, from the bottom, and then they made it to Sun Devil Stadium last year. So ALA Ironwood, I can only expect that he's going to build that program very, very similarly And I think that they're going to, I think that that's going to be an excellent program also. So Chrisman, it's going to be fun to watch them develop. And this Seton schedule is loaded, way more loaded than I thought.
It's
But I think that
three road trips outside the valley too. You got Round Valley, and then you got Safford, and you got River Valley.
But that happens in the 3A. Like once you get below the 4A, that happens a lot.
That's a difference for Seton than what they had, in their decade, the past decade that they've been in the 4A over there.
And I know that they lost their quarterback, but they got a super young running back. They always have a running back on deck. This time it's Corey Edwards, the talented freshman who should carry a load for that offense. They got a pair of receiver athletes over there, RJ Fogarty and Bailey Mendoza. Bailey Mendoza I saw put in some work last year during the game that I went to. And then a pair of defensive players, Sloan Sweet and Joseph Ferentz. Those guys can absolutely go. And interception, those guys are interceptions waiting to happen. They're playmakers on defense, and I think that Seton dropping down to the 3A, I think it's going to be interesting because of those road trips. But Gridiron, I'm going to let you take it away. Go inside the numbers on one Seton Catholic football team coached by legendary Coach Wallon.
Yep, we got Seton Catholic 8-3 last season. They were the 4A Southwest Region champs. They made the first round of the playoffs, losing 34-30 to Arcadia. This was their first trip to the playoffs since 2018. The Sentinels had a turnaround season last year, going from 2-8 to 8-2. The head coach, Pete Walheim, in his 7th year with the program. They're going to be in the 3A Metro now. They were the 4A last year, of course, the first time since 2014 that they've been in 3A. The quarterback, Chase Dixon, he was a senior, or is a senior, had 16 TD passes. His backup was Brody Hayes, who will be a junior, only had 12 pass attempts last year. They have the running back, 1,600-yard rusher Luke Aguilar, of course, was also a senior. They do have Corey Edwards, who had 408 yards last year, went for 6.3 yards per carry, had a touchdown, had a game against La Jolla, had 177 yards and 3 TDs in that, and a 63-12 win. And he will be a sophomore, correct?
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
I believe so.
Let me make sure that I'm seeing that. Push this up. Let's see here. Yes, he was a freshman last year, or is a freshman still this year. So yeah, he'll be a sophomore. Wide receivers, they got 3 guys returning that all were able to put up some numbers. All 3 will be seniors this year. Bailey Mendoza had 17 catches for 226 yards and a TD. Tacey Allo had 14 catches, 247 yards and 3 TDs. And RJ Fogarty, 8 catches, 205 yards and 4 TDs. Then, of course, on defense, you got Sloan Sweet, the linebacker, had 131 tackles, 7 interceptions, was the region defensive player of the year. He'll be a senior, and he brings the wood. Only 42 players on the roster last season. 19 of those were seniors. Part of that, the kind of the size of Seton Catholic. When they got moved up, some people kind of thought it was unfair that a school with a smaller enrollment was getting moved up. So, they're going to be back down in the 3A now. They have 23 returners is what that means, since you had 19 seniors. They had no JV team last year. The freshman team went 2-3-2.
Man, I want to say that they are going to benefit from dropping from 4A to 3A in terms of like the competition and stuff. Where I think that they're going to lose out though is some of this travel is going to be kind of wearing, and it's different.
It's a big mystery on both ends, because last year they played one game in Tucson last year, and other than that it was mostly a Valley or West Valley schedule. They went to Alhambra, they went to Estrella Foothills, they went to Sierra Linda for 3 of the road games, and now those 3 road games, instead of being the West Valley, are going to be at the points further away. They're out in Eager and Safford and Bullhead City.
I think oh man, okay. 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 Listen. It's very, very different traveling 30, 45 minutes in a bus, and traveling, 2.5 hours or 2 hours or whatever, those longer distances. Um, I like I like Seton to go 2 and 3 on those road trips. So I'm gonna say that first. I'm gonna say that first. Um, or
Well,
I mean
two of the
two
road
two out of
trips, two of the
two out
road
of
trips
three. Two out
are
of
in
three.
these
Two out of
valleys.
three.
Two of the road trips are just to Gilbert and
No,
uh,
no, no. But
Green.
with because Round Valley, Safford, and River Valley are all on the road, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I like them to
Oh, you
go
mean win
two
two
out of
out of
three.
three? I
Two
thought
out
you
of
were saying
three. Two.
two and three.
No, 2 out of 3 on those.
Yeah.
I think they get 2 out of 3. I think they're gonna have to, I think Round Valley might be the one that they drop just because it's gonna be like early, and this gonna be like, wow, dude, this is what this long road trip really looks like. And then they're gonna once they figure that thing out, I think that they're gonna be okay. And we got Coach Sanders in here. We got Coach Sanders in here saying they will take the 3A.
Hey,
Um,
wow.
wow. Okay, that's aggressive. They will take the 3A. Coach said, "Hey, listen, I will take that projection. I'm going to keep that up here for a little
Yeah.
bit. Um, you know what? The 3A they might take, but there's going to be a learning curve here, and they're gonna have to play chess with some guys that know how to play. Give me Seton to go. Give me Seton to go 8-2
Eight
with
and
this
two.
with this schedule. With this schedule. With these guys coming back, I think Sloan and Ferentz. I think that they got another kid that I just can't pronounce his name. That's why I don't want to butcher him. I'm usually brave with that stuff, but I don't want to butcher his name. Corey Edwards, I do think is a little special, and moving
Mhm.
down to 3A, I think is going to be a huge benefit for him because I think of guys like that they've had in the past, like Antonio Campanella or Nick Wade or
Yep.
Luke Aguilar, that I feel like if those guys would have gotten to play their freshman year at Seton and then dropped down to the 3A the following year, I think that they would have been able to get some big time, like even bigger numbers than they already got. So give me Seton. I'm gonna take Seton 8-2. Seton 8-2. Give me
Eight and
Seton
two.
8-2.
And
Eight and two. Lock me in. Lock me in,
lock
Gridiron.
it in. 8 and 2. One team stat for the Sentinels last year in 11 games, they intercepted 25 passes.
That's crazy. They're hounds out there.
Yeah, and of course that was led by Sweet with 7 of them. Ferentz had 2, and Pastor, who's a senior, won't be back. I had 5 of those last season. I'm gonna go 7-3 with this one. I think it's a difficult region.
Almost did that.
With Ben Franklin in there, with Valley Christian in there. Ailey, Ironwood, and Chrisman going to be improving, and you got the River Valley trip in the middle of that region schedule. I'm going to go 7-3 there. I think they're going to get off to a good start.
That's fair. Hey, Gridiron, that's a very fair projection. Look, man, I mean, I was gonna say 7-3, and then I got Coach Sanders over here hyping this thing up, and but I said 8-2 before he posted 8-2. He said, Coach Sanders, just so we put this out here, he says 8-2 with the hard work coming to them at the end of the season. He even put that in
Okay,
a separate thing.
there you
Boom.
go.
So,
I reserve the postseason guesses at this point. I got to wait.
yeah,
And
I'm
see
not
what kind
doing
of
all
team
that
we got
yet.
in 10 weeks.
I'm not doing all that yet, but yeah, man,
It's actually 11 weeks because they do one thing not listed on there. They have a bye in between Valley Christian and River Valley on there.
hey, I wonder if they can Uber to like Round Valley and River. I bet you an Uber from Seton to Round Valley or River Valley or Safford might
Cheaper than
be
getting across
reasonably
town in LA.
competitive with an Uber from the airport to in San Diego or an Uber in LA from the airport to the cribs. So I will say that I'm absolutely disgusted with with the work that Uber is doing on my bank account. But dude, the Ubers are killing me more than anything else. More than
Hmm.
anything else. I got all the flight mileage, so like it's all good. But I'm able to move around and get to like ASU practices occasionally, and then whatever else. But yeah, so there's that. All right, we got one more. We got one more schedule to break down. Are you ready?
Yep.
Are you ready? All right. Hey, we decided to stay. We decided to stay with our Catholic schools and show support. So we got a second one coming up. The one and only Brophy College Prep. Hey,
I knew
hey,
it.
this. Yeah, it's. But I mean, I think I expanded this enough so we can read it, and it's not so blurry. I would have thought that Brophy would have had the technology where like they could have like a high def graphic, but it's all good. It's all good. They got high def athletes that are absolutely spectacular. So led by quarterback Case Vanden Bosch, who's absolutely special. I love watching him work. He can run the ball. He can throw that thing. So this is gonna be a fun team to watch. Going through the schedule, absolutely loaded. No weeks off. They start off with one of the. I can only guess that this is going to be one of the top two teams in the state. The Basha Bears. They're going to be home versus Basha. That's going to be exciting. That is going to be theater. After that, they got.
That's on a Thursday, by the way, too. That's the kickoff Thursday for the big schools.
Oh, perfect. Can't wait. Wonder who's going to be broadcasting that. Who gets the privilege to broadcast that? Maybe my guys over there at the Epic Sports Network. But who knows? I don't honestly know.
There's three big games on that Thursday night, too.
That's going to be so exciting. All right. And then what's it called? Then they make the trip to Colorado, part of the home and home versus Regis Jesuit. I'm excited for that. After that, they get some more Chandler schools. They get Perry. And then after that, they're on the road at Hamilton. Man, they get to really jump into this Premier Region loaded schedule.
They're the only ones playing a Premier Region schedule in the state.
Facts. And then after that, after dealing with Basha and going on the road to get Regis Jesuit, playing Perry, and then going on the road at Hamilton. Which, you know what, playing Basha on a Thursday might not be such a bad thing because they get the extra day to prepare for Regis Jesuit and the travel day.
And if you're going to have a Thursday game, week 1 is the best time to have it, as opposed to in the middle of the season to when you have a short week.
Or right after a bye or something. But yes, absolutely. You are absolutely right. So after that, after those first 4 games, they get to play Red Mountain. Man, this schedule couldn't get any tougher. But after that, we'll let you go in on Red Mountain a little bit. Coach Ender's squad, who's been absolutely fantastic. And by then, will Red Mountain have a new quarterback? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's true, because we'll have to find out. It's week 5, so if they have any transfers, they would not be eligible yet. Red Mountain 7-4 last year, of course. A perennial playoff run team, a team that in 2023 defeated Brophy in that double overtime game to make the finals.
Red Mountain last year was also on the brink of that open situation. Mm-hmm. Red Mountain played in one of the toughest regions last year. Seed. Yeah, they were playing in one of the toughest regions last year. Do you remember like when everybody was saying that their region was them, ALA Queen Creek
was better than the Premier,
region in the state? Yeah, like so.
I thought it was better than the Premier last year. Yes.
Well, there you go. That Gridiron flexing that opinion. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. Brophy was the top seed in the 6A tournament, and Red Mountain was the number 3. You recall Red Mountain started the year last year at 7-0, and then they had close losses to Queen Creek, Hamilton, and Mountain View. All 3 of them by 5 points or less, and then Centennial upended them in the first round.
All right, that first half schedule is absolutely insane. After that, they get Shadow Ridge, Coach Zadepski's squad, which is up and coming. I know that Coach Zadepski's still in the building process over there, so they're going to get a Shadow Ridge team that's building, and then they get Higley, who's been somewhat of a 5A juggernaut with their back-to-back 5A titles, and then their open appearance last year, and then it's at Liberty. Um, Liberty not an easy place to play. I let you go inside the numbers on Coach Thomas's squad. Yeah, Hudson, Dunn, the whole crew. Those guys are ready to work and show out.
Yeah, I mean, Brophy's been right there on the cusp the last 2 seasons of making the Open. I know that's something that their coaching staff wants is to get in that Open. Could this be the game that gets them into the Open? Here it is, week 9. So there's only 2 games left after that one to try to play their way in there, which we'll remember the Open all 6A teams this year.
Yeah. Very interesting situation with that. Okay, and then after Liberty, on the road to Saguaro, where Saguaro trying to rebuild that thing over there. We had Marcel Jones on the show a couple weeks ago. Yep. They got him, and then super talented receiver Tristan Armstrong and some other guys, Aiden Whitaker and company, some absolute dogs. And then Brophy hosts Williamsfield. Could be a nightmare, and they might be getting flashbacks of a game a couple of years ago when the running back did his thing, but Gridiron. I think
Brophy got him last year. The last 2 years they've opened against Williamsfield.
Yeah, sheesh. 2 years ago it was crazy though.
Yeah, it was that big comeback.
Yeah, when the running back to Iowa State committed to Iowa State, went and did it. Man, oh, gosh, that was so insane to watch on social media. Sheesh, this schedule is loaded. But Brophy, they got dogs. Like I said, it starts with their quarterback.
The Regis Jesuit rematch too in Colorado. Of course, the game is in Colorado this year. Last year, Regis came to Phoenix and lost 44-0.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not trying to doo-doo on Colorado football. I just think
they ended up going 6-6. Regis did.
I just think that the top of Arizona football is way better than the top of Colorado's football food chain. We're the big shark. They're the little shark. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just saying. Look, Brophy's loaded. I don't want to fool anybody. Their schedule's tough, and it should be tough because they are loaded. Absolutely love their quarterback, Case Vandenbosch. I think he's an absolute dude. They're loaded at wide receiver too with Dalen Sharper, Devin Fitzgerald, Donovan McNabb Jr., who's coming on with the recruiting lately, and then super special athlete that played JV last year. He's a baseball player, also Jalen Fitzgerald. Absolutely special long athlete. I want to say he's like 6'4", 6'5", receiver type. Could put on weight and be like a tight end. Could flip over to defense, maybe be like an outside backer or something. Who knows? Running back, one of my favorite running backs in the state, Harrison Pinball Chambers. My man just so fun to watch him work. The offensive line, look, I know that everybody's like, oh my God, they lost their entire line. That was all Division I guys. Yes, they lost a lot of those guys, but returning Shane Ryersgard, an absolute stud. And then also they got a kid coming up, Andreas Toomey Allen, who I think is going to be a problem for them and has been doing damage in the weight room. Linebacking core, looking solid. Bastian Vandenbosch, an absolute stud. Been watching him closely since his freshman year, where he's absolutely destroying folks. Gregory Riddell and John Michael, been working hard. John Michael especially, I think that he could be a special player for them. Defensive back, their defensive backfield. I know everybody's like, oh my gosh, Creed Thomas, Notre Dame, doing all the interviews. How are they going to look? They're going to be fine. Deshaun Crine, Ryder Noche, absolute guys. But one James Pike, I think, is going to be the leader and the heart and soul possibly of this defense. James Pike is a super high IQ kid, can make all the plays, always puts himself in the right situation, right places. So I'm super excited. I think that he is absolutely special, could be the heart and soul of that defense. And they are loaded with young guys. They got some 28s that are absolutely special athletes that might find themselves contributing early defensive back athlete Julian Ferrari, and he can move like one too a little bit, just so we're clear. Linebacker Josh Anderson, and be familiar with this name, tight end Brady Powell, part of that Powell franchise.
Yep.
And then linebacker Max Alcaverde. They got a pair of quarterbacks that are probably, one of them is going to be holding the clipboard, I'm guessing. Kai Knutson, who I've been watching during sevens and during his freshman year. Absolutely special, high IQ kid that can make all the throws. Another quarterback, another 28, Noah Stewart. Those two kids rotated on freshmen. I got to watch them versus Mountain Point last year, and they were absolutely dealing. They were dealing. Look, this team, don't feel bad for them because they lost all them linemen. That's Coach Martinez's job. This is what he does. Bring big fellas in and let him go to work. One of the best offensive line coaches, I believe, in the country. So let him do his thing. I believe he's still over there at Brophy and still making that thing work. Gridiron, I'll let you take it away. Go inside the numbers.
Yep.
Do what you do.
Brophy 10-3 last season, made the 6A semifinals, lost 28-27 to Mountain View. Was their second straight trip to the semis. The Broncos have made the playoffs 20 of the last 22 years. Head coach Jason Jewell in his 7th year, and they are in the 6A Central region. Total of, I'm counting 7 guys on the team that will be seniors that have D1 offers, including 2 quarterbacks. You got Rylan Humphrey and Case Vanden Bosch. Both saw time behind center last year. Humphrey, 900 yards passing, 12 TDs. Case Vanden Bosch, 1,773 pass yards, 16 TDs. And then he also rushed for 1,054 yards and 18 touchdowns. So you got to watch him on the move. And then, of course, Harrison Chambers, who you mentioned, pinball, 688 yards, 6 TDs. The wide receivers, Dalen Sharper and Devin Fitzgerald. Sharper, 65 catches, 846 yards, 12 TDs. And then Devin Fitzgerald, 52 receptions, 720 yards, and 9 TDs. On defense, you got James Pike, who you mentioned, 51 tackles, 4.5 sacks, and 3 interceptions for the safety. You got Bastian Vanden Bosch, linebacker, 40 tackles, 7.5 sacks, 2 fumble recoveries, 2 forced fumbles. And then the rest of the secondary with Ryder Noche, 32 tackles, 2 interceptions. He's a junior, or will be a junior. And then Deshaun Crine is a senior cornerback as well that has a couple D1 offers. So it's a very heralded group there.
Man, hey, they got some dudes. I'm not going to act like they don't.
Feeling with the skill position guys that this is the year they've been building for. And of course, they had the unfinished business show last year, and it looks like it'll continue on to another season because of the way last one ended. So, could this be the one that where they finished the business?
I think they're gonna get an opportunity to finish something with the Open being all 6A teams. I definitely think that Brophy is one of those teams that could find their way in there. They got the strength of schedule.
Played in an Open yet.
They got the strength of schedule that I think will allow them to take a few losses and still make the Open. Do I think they're going to be undefeated? No. This schedule's loaded. I'm going to let you go first on this one.
Last year we both had Brophy going 8-2, and that's,
which is fair.
That's what they did. We nailed that one. I'm going to go with 8-2 once again, just with the difficult schedule with some of these teams in there. With Basha, with Perry, with Hamilton, with Red Mountain, with Liberty. They're not going to win all those games. So I'm going to go 8-2.
Man, but you think they're going to split those games even?
Well, I think I mentioned 5 games there. If you look at, I didn't even count the Regis game. So we got Basha, Perry, Hamilton, Red Mountain, Liberty.
I thought you just mentioned Basha, Hamilton, Liberty, Red Mountain. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm including Perry in that mix too.
Man, just the way you said that, like, man, this, like, I'm gonna take Brophy 8-2 also, but I actually think they're gonna win 7. but But
just don't want to be the guy that only thought they were going to win 7.
no, because listen. I could take them. I could take them 7-3, right? But then if they win 8, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. But I don't think that they're gonna only. I don't think that they're only gonna win 6. I think that they have a bet. This is gonna be a hot take. I'm guessing amongst a lot of people. But I think they're more likely to win 9 games than to win 6 games. So it's because of that that I want to take.
Depending on how the offensive line develops. I mean, that's the big.
Oh, hey, Coach Sanders, Boldo, he said, "Ain't no way." He said,
"Ain't no way." Ain't no. I'm assuming he's
6.
referring to your 9-1 pick when he says, "Ain't no way."
He got them at 6-4. That's why I'm saying this is why I am saying I think that they're closer to winning 9 games than they are being a 6-win team. But Coach Sanders got some St. Mary's ties, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe there's still some beef.
Hatred for you.
There's gotta be. Look, I'm not mad at Coach Sanders or the way he feels. He said there's no way though. He said there's no way that they win 8 games. No way, not at all. I'm gonna go ahead and leave that up there for a hot minute though. Me and Gridiron got Brophy winning 8 games.
Yeah, we do.
We got them winning 8 games. So Coach Sanders over here says, ain't no way under God's hot sun that Brophy wins 8 games. Okay, so look, you need bulletin board material for the first time. It is not coming from me and Gridiron, but from quote unquote no bias at all, Coach Sanders.
Yeah.
I think that this is so tough. Like the strength of Brophy last year was that offensive line that was so loaded. I felt like that was really their strength, and I thought that was going to be enough to push all that talent into the open. The reality is it didn't, and there was whatever it was. There were things that they couldn't get over or get or pass, and that offensive line was one of the best offensive lines that I had seen. I don't know how you replace that, but now
they had 3 D1 guys, and I think all 5 went on to or are going on to play in college.
They are loaded. They are loaded with athletes now, with wide receivers and a super special running back who kind of very differently, but kind of gives me those Stone Matthews vibes from those old Saguaro teams, where he can pile on a ton of yards. They're loaded with athletes, and their IQ in certain positions with certain guys, like I mentioned, Pike and Vanden Bosch and guys like that. I just think that this team is closer to figuring some things out, even without that monstrous offensive line. That maybe it's better that they don't have all those names in the trenches because of the pressure that puts. So I just think that I just think that this team's closer to 9 wins than 6 wins. So Coach Sanders, you're going to owe me a burger from somewhere after this, because we're going to officially make that bet. Lock that in, Coach Sanders. Me and you are betting a burger that Brophy is not going to be a 6-win team, because that means, I'm going to tell you right now, Coach Sanders thinks that they're going to lose to Basha, Red Mountain, Hamilton, and Liberty. I'm going to agree with Gridiron on this, that as tough as I think it is, I think that they're splitting those at least. So they're going to learn from one of those losses and be able to get two of those games. I don't know which ones, but they're going to get 2 of them. So
it's probably better at Williams Field at the end instead of the beginning, also, because Williams Field is really stacked on the lines. Yeah.
Hey, so you know what? Hey, Coach Sanders, you got 6 wins. I got everything else. I got 7, 8, 9. Coach Ortiz chiming in. They get 3 CUSD games. We only play 2. Crazy to see that. Um, well, yeah, there's that. I
And they're in
mean,
the first 4 games too.
it's crazy because Coach Ortiz went to the CUSD to play all the CUSD teams. He told me that one time that he wanted those big lights and the big heavy competition versus the biggest schools, things like that. Like so, Coach Ortiz backs down from nobody, and building that program accordingly. So shout out to him. He's wondering when we're going to break down his schedule, and that's coming soon. Also, calm down, Coach. That Perry game is going to be
We got
tough,
about
man.
4 months till the season here still. So
Hey, that Perry game's gonna be crazy too. Kale Snyder, like,
Yep.
dude, Brophy's gonna see some guys out here. They're gonna see some guys. So, Kale Snyder, Amos Augustine, super talented duo over there at Perry. Higley's got some dudes, Justice Brathwaite, Nasim Eason. You brought up the big fellas over at Williamsfield, Malachi and Campbell. Those guys are gonna be monsters. We talked about Williamsfield last week, so. There's names on this schedule.
Hamilton.
Hey, there are names on this schedule.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of names, you don't have to call anybody out, but what's wrong with the D-backs early?
Well, they're struggling in the starting pitching. We're just starting time 3 through the rotation, so I don't want to make any kind of overreactions here. And
you need torpedo bats.
Tonight they're not only winning, but they're getting a good starting performance out of Merrill Kelly tonight. 6 innings, just 2 runs allowed. They are currently beating Baltimore 4-2, which would get them up to 6-6. So,
okay. Hey, I didn't want to bring them up because I know it's hard and it hurts your feelings and stuff like that.
Tomorrow night should be the funeral for the Suns.
I know, but we're going to start that funeral early. We're going to start the funeral early. Look, Mike Malone, the Denver Nuggets just fired Mike Malone.
He's available now.
If they fired him, is that who you want? Is that who you want?
I don't think it'd be a bad thing.
Coach Bud, who won a championship with the Bucks, comes to Phoenix, can't win a lick. You want Coach Malone, who won a championship with the Nugs
just 2 years ago,
to come over here. So
I don't think any of us are going to be surprised if Ishbia gets rid of Bud next week.
No, none of us. But
by the way, they're losing by 26 at halftime to the Warriors.
Nobody's surprised.
Yeah.
Nobody's surprised. Hey, look, Gridiron, obviously since you showed your hand already and Coach Malone is over at the top of your list, are there any other names? Because me and Adam Beadle, Jordan Ham, Brad Denny, we were talking about this at Sun Devil practice today a little bit. Between Sun Devil football talk, we were talking about Suns coach and the prospects. Some names that were brought up. I just want to throw these out there to you, get some reaction. Some names that were brought up.
I've done a lot of thinking about that, so I'll admit that.
Dan Marley has the awkwardness passed because Robert Sarver's gone. I think it's passed. Nobody knows what he's been doing lately.
Different regime. Sure.
Would sell some seats maybe? I
don't know. Are they not selling out?
Well, I mean,
they might have trouble. I see what you're saying for next year for people to re-up. I see what you're saying.
Look, I know that tickets are available for season tickets next year. They had a 5-year look. They had a 5-year waiting list, and then I'm allowed to buy more tickets now. I can buy more than the 2 that I have. So, I'm curious. Like, is that something that you would be interested in?
Few years?
No, he hasn't. I'm guessing that he's just been watching his kid.
Watching his kid over at Pima this year.
So hanging out. But he coached at Grand Canyon, had some success over there. Did some things.
He had some success in the regular season, wasn't able to get them over the hump into the tournament, which Bryce Drew has been able to do a few times now.
Okay, so you're a Marley hater. Got it.
I'm just saying it's not as much of a slam dunk as it might have been a few years ago.
Like a Thunder Dan slam dunk? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Fair. Okay. So you hate Dan Marley. What about Steve Nash? What about your back-to-back 2-time MVP, 7 seconds or less?
Playing point guard, or is he coaching?
He's gonna coach. Like, would that be a name that interests you?
No, because he has no coaching experience.
He coached the Nets.
Well,
I mean,
how did that work
he
out?
tried to. Look, coaching. Listen,
That
one
the
thing
team
that I will
Kate
say.
was on also.
Oh, yes. One thing
Yeah.
that I will say, coaching a group of Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden, no easy task. Don't forget, James Harden once put on a fat suit to get out of his city. And I love James Harden, forks up forever, keep supporting Sun Devil basketball. KD might be one of the most talented players of our time, and Kyrie Irving is Kyrie. So, but that is not an easy team to coach.
And I don't think
You
KD
give
will
him a
be
pass.
for what that's worth.
No, he won't. And I don't think Nash wants KD here anyway. So could he coach Booker and 11 new guys?
Yeah.
Would you take Nash? You don't like Nash either.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that he's the guy for a total rebuild like that.
Look, any coaching situation is better than coaching Kyrie, James Harden, and
I mean, I hope
KD.
that's the attitude that management takes in the offseason, is that this is going to be a rebuild, not plug in and make another $400 million team and that thinks they're ready.
Okay. So you hate Steve Nash, 2-time MVP, 7 seconds or less. Guy that brought all the excitement to the Suns. Awesome. Got it. What about
I love him as a
Nate
player.
Oates? What about like Nate
What's that?
Oates? What about we dip into like yeah, what about we dip into the college ranks? What about somebody like Nate Oates
who had
or
super exciting offense over there at Alabama?
Yeah. Is that a name that piques your interest a little bit? Are you like
it piques it a little more?
Yeah, more than Malone.
No, not more than Malone.
Oh, not more than Malone. Okay, so you're still Malone, then Oates, and then the rest of the guys that I brought up. Okay, all right. So I got to find somebody that trumps Malone. Now I got to ask you. Listen, I get it. Hollywood is a tough place to coach. I know that JJ Redick took that opportunity, but you know who passed on that? Dan Hurley. Would you take Dan Hurley to coach the Suns after what he built over there at UConn? I know they struggled this year, but you can't win every year, even in college.
Right.
Does the name Danny Hurley move you emotionally at all?
It's certainly an interesting one.
Listen, Gridiron. I want you to Gridiron. Hold on, Gridiron. I want you to hear me on this. Soak this in. Feel me on this. To be able to go get a guy that the Lakers chased and couldn't get. Doesn't that kind of move you a little bit internally?
If he didn't take the Lakers, why would he take the Suns?
Because he doesn't want to work with LeBron. He doesn't want to deal with all the headaches that come in Hollywood. He doesn't want to deal with the Hollywood prices. He's more of a Storrs, Connecticut type of dude. So he wants to be in Phoenix, where the prices are a little bit easier than LA.
The attention's a lot less, that's for sure.
Yeah. Would Dan Hurley move you emotionally over Malone?
It would certainly, not over Malone, but it would certainly be interesting.
Wow. Okay. If that name, I should have finished with Dan Hurley, but the last name that I'm gonna bring up, just because I know that he has ties with Ishbia, and I think you already know which direction I'm going now. But retirement is coming soon. Retirement is coming soon for this one, and no better place to retire than Arizona. Would you be moved by super successful college coach, Michigan State lifer?
Oh, Izzo's got to be getting ready to retire, isn't he?
Why not come to Arizona and retire? You know, everybody says that Arizona's a retirement community. Look, ASU brought Herm Edwards here.
This is a retire job. This is a rebuild. You need a younger guy.
2 years. Give Izzo 2 years. Give Izzo 2 years to rebuild, find a successor, move the needle a little bit. Does Izzo move you at all?
No, I don't see that one.
Okay, all right, that's fair. All right, listen, I think I am with you.
Years old, by the way.
That's okay. Look, okay. he's working with kids. He's got a lot of life in him. He's got He's got at least two.
He would probably age crazily being with the Suns. He'd look like he was 80 at the end of the season.
He's got at least 2 healthy years with the Suns, and then just retires, plays golf, hangs out here in the valley, and does his thing, and then Ishbia can move forward. No, you're not feeling it. Okay,
No.
all right. Okay, so Gridiron's got so it sounds like Gridiron is with Malone, then Oates,
Yeah.
and then Hurley, or is it Hurley then Oates?
Yeah. I think I'd put Hurley ahead of Oates.
Okay, dang. But that's a good group to start with.
What about the guy that Memphis got rid of, Taylor Jenkins?
I don't know. I'd rather take Josh Pastner. I'd rather take Bobby Hurley. I like Bobby Hurley. I'm not saying that to throw shade. I like Bobby Hurley, so I would take Bobby Hurley. But yeah, I think that there's some interesting candidates out there. I don't know who's got a poppin' podcast. Maybe Steven Jackson or somebody like that. That we can take that has like a high basketball IQ. Maybe a Gilbert Arenas, but. Look, I know that Jason Terry's trying to get into the coaching biz. Mike Bibby just took the job over there. Like, I feel like there's guys that we can get with names that, close to Arizona that are bigger and better than maybe Malone. Because we already tried with Coach Bud and Budenholzer or whatever, and I just don't think that worked out. Obviously, it didn't work out because he's about to get fired.
It did not work out.
But did it not work out because of him, or did it not?
Right now, the way to Golden State.
Dang, they're dropping like Bitcoin right now. Holy smokes! Because dang. All right, hey Gridiron, I appreciate you, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Gridiron always been a staple in the community, holding us down with the inside the number segment, and also the yellow pad, which for the first time in a long time we didn't have that on the show.
Yeah,
while we do schedules, we don't need the yellow pad because we try to take advantage of some of the graphics teams that these schools have. Make sure we show those kids some love, whoever's putting the graphics together. I don't know if it's the kids or whoever, but make sure that we do that thing. Gridiron, I appreciate you. And next week, tag us. If you want us to break down your schedule, just tag us. That's the easiest way. I believe Seton Catholic tagged us, and we had some requests from some Brophy guys, so there's that. But
there we go.
Oh, Gridiron. Man, you want Coach Malone? Sheesh, I don't know if I can rock with that, but I'm gonna let that be. All right, Gridiron. I'm gonna holler at you next week, where we're gonna have 2 new schedules, maybe a yellow pad topic. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. All right, my man. You take care. I'll catch you down the line. All right.
All right, we'll see you.
We gotta get some lunch. If you're gonna move somewhere, make sure that you move somewhere that doesn't have ridiculous Uber charges. I should have picked a place like, I don't know, like New Mexico or something. But the weather's way better here, so it is what it is. Anyways, also there's a beach and things like that, and theme parks. But it is what it is. Your boy Chili, I'm gonna make my way out of here. If you guys got questions regarding recruiting or whatever, camps to go to, camps that are legit. A lot of people have uncovered a lot of things about these camps and combines and things like that. Yes, some of them are money grabs. You got to be careful. Make sure that you go to one that isn't just trying to take your hard-earned money, your family's hard-earned money. Make sure that you guys pick camps, college camps that are I want to say like reasonable, that makes sense. Listen, if you can't play at Alabama, if your head coach tells you that it's unlikely that you're going to play at Alabama, listen to him and find another camp that is going to be at a school where you can get looked at and get an opportunity to play, and then jump in the portal, and then get to Alabama. Do your thing. Make sure that you do your thing at a D2 school or an FCS school or whatever, G5 school, and then make your way up to the P4 level. Your boy Chili, I'm gonna make my way out of here. At Just Chili, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Holler at your guy. Flight Club coming soon, June 28th, 2025. That's a Saturday. Forks Up Forever. Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat at Just Chili, TikTok, YouTube, Just Chili TV. Make sure that you guys subscribe, all that good stuff. Turn on the notifications. things like that. Also got some specials coming up soon. And I heard that there's a lot of shakeup going on with the local media. So let's see how all that pans out. I'm hoping the best for everybody. Let's make this thing cook and take care of the kids. Most importantly, take care of the kids. Boy, Chili, I am out of here, folks. At Forever Yana.